What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the 5 Things We Learned. Manchester United to Manchester City nil. Guys, amazing performance from the boys. Amazing results. I think they did everything they needed to do right. So, guys, a lot of talking points in this game. A lot of talking points. So, guys, let's jump right into it. I think the first thing for me is the fact that we can now see a difference between a Michael Carrick and a Darren Fletcher. I think you can now see that in as much as, yes, the way Man United set up in today's game, which we analyze deeply, the way we set up, it's such that, you know, we have freedom in certain areas of the pitch, but that freedom is done with a structure. You could see when you watch today's game, yeah, I know it's the first game of Michael Carrick, but when you watch today's game, you understand what we are trying to do from a tactical point of view. You understand our setup. You understand what we're trying to do. It's not just freedom for freedom's sake, right? As we saw against Brighton under Darren Fletcher, right? Now you're beginning to see that this is exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to play in a certain way. We are trying to approach this part of this game in a certain way. You could see the structure. And I think for me, it was freedom, but freedom with a structure. And I think that's what makes it really amazing and really nice. I think the second thing I want to say is the fact that desire and commitment. I think you cannot fault the desire of the boys. You cannot fault the commitment of the boys. They understood what they needed to do in certain areas and they were committed and they had that desire. They ran for 90 plus minutes. There was no point in the game where you just thought that the guys were not committed and were not having that desire. And I think it's very important for us to set that tone and that standard. We have to keep that standard because over the years, we've understand under different managers, we've understand that Manchester United is a team that can play in certain moments, right? Against a big side like Manchester City, Arsenal, we can put out that big performance, right? That standard of running, having that desire, but also we need to have that standard that we had today for all the games this season. It doesn't matter the opponent, whether it's a Burnley, whether it's a Brighton, whether it's a Wolves, run as you ran today, 100% running, you know, have the desire as you had today, 100%. Go for the tackles as you went today. Be tactically committed to what you are going to do. And I think we saw that today. Every single moment they were focused. Every single moment they were tactically, you know, confident. And I think we have to do that because we don't want to go back to the past where we have this amazing, surprising performance and everybody's happy that we've contributed to a dent in Manchester City's title challenges. Yeah. But we don't want to go back and have these big games where we perform so well and then we now have games where we don't do so well. So please, this match should be a standard. I think Michael Carrick should tell the boys, this match should be a standard for the remaining games this season. Run 100%, be focused, have the commitment, and stick to the plan. And I think you could see that today. So the next point is the fact that I like the way we approach the game in terms of our defensive structure, in the sense of, you know, I said many times here that we don't want the high press. And I even saw some moments where we tried to do a high press, but we did it cautiously and we were very, you know, it's not many times that we did the high press, but we were cautious. Many times we were in the mid to low block. And I think this is what this team has to do. And I want to appreciate Michael Carrick. Yes, I understand it's a Manchester City. We can also analyze that further in terms of what do we do against a much more lesser team to us, right? But for today, I like the approach in terms of it was a mid to low block. Let's sit, let's them come out, let's, you know, be compact. Let's not give Manchester City space. I think Manchester City only had one shot on target to today's game because we made sure that they came out, as usual, Manchester City to come out, but we were in that mid to low block shape of a 4-4-2. Sometimes, I think most of the first half, it was a 4-4-2. Second half, part of the first half to the second half was a 4-3-3 off the ball. So we were there, mid to low block. They had a lot of space at the behind them. And we have the likes of Dorgu, we have Mbeumo, we have Ahmad, right? There's the space, but in our own half, we were now compact, no space. And I think that's what I like because these are the kind of games you want to watch from a tactical point of view, no space. And you could see in the first half, and for most part, Manchester City had a lot of wrong passes. Maybe because maybe they did not start the game well in their own side, but obviously it was also the fact that we were so compact that we actually snuffed out the passing lines, which I think was really amazing. We snuffed out the passing lines of Manchester City. And so they found it difficult to be able to string those passes together and necessarily even get into any rhythm. So most of the passes were just, you know, side. But whenever they try to make an ambitious pass in the center, especially the first half, we found out that there was interceptions. And I think that is very, very good. That compactness. And it's something that we have to work in our game also. Defensively, our defensive structure, we need to keep training to be compact. And I think I like that because when you look at the people on Carrick's coaching staff, I know Holland has an experience in Chelsea. I know, yes, he has been involved with big manager. I think he was also involved at some point with, if I'm not mistaken, Mourinho. So Carrick also obviously is a manager that I said has a very good understanding of mixing Mourinho's style into his part. He learned, as he said, Van Gaal, Mourinho and everything he learns. I love that defensive structure of Man United because that was what won us the game. Not necessarily what we can do in transition because we know that. But I think what I saw that really, really amazed me was the way we did not allow them to have spaces in our own half. I think for me, that when I saw that, I knew that it's not about we converting a chance. On a good day, if we converted our chances, if Donnarumma wasn't as superb in some moments as it was today, we could be talking about a 5-0. And I think it was fantastic. Really fantastic. I think 2 goals were removed based on. So it was really fantastic for us. So the next thing is also the fact that, we expected their high line. Obviously, as I said, we have Dorgu, we have Ahmad, we have Mbeumo. And you can see the reason why, when I saw the way he approached the lineup, I saw the way he approached the game, I knew that likes of Sesko would not get this thing because you need players that can be able to capitalize on the frailties of the high line. And you can see also that in the first half, I like the fact that for certain moments in the first half, we did not use a double pivot and a single 10. Right? So it was a single pivot of Casemiro and 2 number 10s in Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. And Bruno Fernandes was amazing because for most of the part, it was using the right to, to capitalize on the weaknesses of them behind their high line, right? We had goals from that situation, but, offside. I think Amazon was from that situation, but was offside. So I feel that we really, really did well in terms of how we capitalized against their line. Second half, it was much more different. Second half, Bruno was much more higher. It was now becoming a double pivot. Bruno much more higher. Even sometimes playing as a first 9 in certain because of the position he took in pressing, being the spirit of the press, that's Bruno Fernandes. But I think I like the setup. And I think for me, I'm really, really happy what I saw today. And we have to continue on this. That's my own. I'm happy. It's a game most of us never thought we could win. But the fact is now we have to build on it. We needed to build on it. Our attack was direct. Our attack was effective. We knew exactly what we wanted to attack. As I said, sometimes the road from the wing, the long balls, right? Dorgu, we knew I wanted to attack. And the second half, the goals came from transition moments. I think the goals obviously came from transition moments. The two of the goals was direct transition moments where you could see how the 3 in front who have been instructed, move, bombard them centrally, move. And I think it was amazing. The likes of Ahmad, Bruno. I think the first goal obviously was Mbeumo, Dorgu, Mbeumo, and Ahmad, and Bruno was behind them. Guys, push. And I think you can also say that we are happy to have the likes of Mbeumo and Ahmad back. Really happy to have them back. They make our team better. And I said also that the manager has to find a way to play both of them. And I think you see today, you need to play both of them. We are much more better team playing both of them. But obviously, we look at how he approaches other games. But for me, I think I'm happy with the result. Obviously, I'm happy with the fact that Mbeumo and Ahmad are back. I'm happy with the fact that Bruno Fernandes, ran all through the game, was in every area, covered the grass. I think it was amazing. And I think for Pep Guardiola, you could see it in Pep's eyes. This is like one of the worst defeats in his career, really, because one shot on target. That was in the first half. And like I know we have seen performances like this under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer but this is another level also, in the sense of we did not let them play. We bullied them in that game in terms of not having chances and we having the chances. And for me, it shows the frailty of a particular system, as we all know, but also it shows the fact that Man United was good in that mode of play today and it was fantastic. So guys, I know you have your opinions. I will praise all the players. Everybody did well. Dalot, was shaking some points, but Dalot is Dalot. So as some people also, it was very good in terms of how we dealt with Doku in certain moments. So I think it was very, very good, even though he got a yellow card, a very stupid yellow card that could have been a red card. But I felt it was also decent. He needs to improve in his game, obviously. But I think everybody did well. I was amazed. So guys, let me have your opinion on this game. What do you think about the match? Share your opinions. Let's have that discussion. So guys, It's a very good weekend for us. Early kickoff, we won the match. We have to go and relax and enjoy ourselves. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share. I'm your host, Shegun, and to see you next time. Bye.